We are Save the Manuals here at DC MotorWerks. We recommend these to just about everybody. The best part of this experience is driving this car. Mercedes really tried to push forward in the sports sedan and small sports car market. It really is just that good. Hey everyone, and welcome back to DC MotorWerks. My name is Cameron, and thank you all for tuning in. And today we have brought you something very special again from the Mercedes world, a very well-kept secret. This is a 171 chassis SLK 350, but most importantly, it is a 6-speed manual. So yes, we are Save the Manuals here at DC MotorWerks, and we like finding these SLKs. We sold one just very recently. A next generation, a 172 SLK 250 with a 6-speed. So the last SLK with a manual transmission. But to me, these are the absolute sweet spot because you get to see a nice sized, naturally aspirated V6 with the manual. So no waiting for turbos or anything, as much fun as those can be. The sound and experience of a 6-cylinder from Mercedes, and one of the best engines they've ever made. This is the M272 engine. So this was the return to the quad cam engines that they did in kind of the mid-2000s, and really debuted in this car. It was the only engines offered in this one as far as the 6-cylinder. You could also get the older V8 in the 55 models, but this one, just to talk about it specifically, is super special because it is in this fire mist red metallic, which is an absolutely gorgeous color. I hope it comes through in camera. It is also equipped with the AMG styling package. So not many of these got that, surprisingly, whereas most modern Mercedes, it is a pretty commonly ticked option. You got these really nice 5-spoke AMG wheels. They are 17-inch, and you also get the deeper sculpted bumpers, side skirts, and you even get the little flares there on the rear arches. Really is, I think, the only way to have one of these. So, and this one is pretty nicely optioned, which we'll get into in the drive here in a little bit. But coming around the side, you can see just how nice this one is with 45,000 miles. It is very well kept. You can see it was probably just someone's weekend warrior. A little bit of discoloration on the headlights. We did polish them up a good bit, but the plastic lenses don't last forever. That is kind of the only main complaint here along the front of the car. There's a couple little nicks here and there, which, you know, 45,000 miles, something's bound to happen. So it even has original Mercedes-Benz wipers. You can see the star there on an original Mercedes windshield. All good things we like to see on used cars. Same thing around the side here. Everything looks nice and tidy. The wheels aren't curbed or anything, and they are wrapped in one of my favorite tires, the Continentals. They make some great products, a nice German-made tire. So, and around the back, you have the nice dual outlet oval exhaust, which always looks good. And you can always kind of tell a lot by Mercedes by their exhaust. So the AMG models will have quad pipes, whereas the sport packaged cars usually just have the dual outlet ovals, which still looks great and sounds great. Again, around the side, nothing really to write home about, just this beautiful color. But let's go ahead and look at what I think is the best part. And this, like I said a moment ago, is the M272 quad cam or dual overhead cam V6. This is the 3.5 liter variant. So they did offer this in the SLK 280 as well. So that was kind of the more the entry level powertrain. This one is the full chunk 3.5, and with the manual, it is the best combination. I'd argue more than a V8 AMG car, just because you have the manual transmission, and I love the character of the V6, and they feel a lot lighter in the front end, a lot more sporty, which are very welcome things in a small sports car like this. You can see everything looks tidy in here. I always like these engine covers, especially with the engine computer sitting right up on top. It was just a very nice design choice, and these are one of our favorite engines. They are super easy to work on. You know, you can change spark plugs in 20 minutes, and they don't really have any crazy things to worry about. They've got a couple oil leaks. You know, the centrifuge cover in the back will leak. The oil filter housing leaks sometimes, but contrary to its older brother, or whatever you want to call it, the 112 and 113, the rear mains don't leak, so they don't have the big expensive ones. The valve covers don't have to be resealed all the time. So a nice step forward, even though compared to those engines, there wasn't a lot of like aftermarket support or anything like that. They didn't run them for a super long time. As direct injection and turbocharged engines became the norm, these kind of went away, but we recommend these to just about everybody. Hopefully you can see there in frame is that this is a lot of engine for a little car. And while there is a lot of room to work, it really is what you'd call like the Miata of Mercedes, or, you know, just a small sports car that is for the driving enthusiast. I've got the roof down now, but let's go ahead and we'll show you the full action of the roof and how it works. Because this is in the era of hardtop convertibles. And it was quite the act in how these things folded and worked. So it's a super simple operation. It's just a one touch of a button here in the center console. Push that forward. And that is a completed cycle. We've got a message in the instrument cluster that says retractable roof closed. And if I just pull the button in the opposite direction, it says retractable roof in operation, exclamation mark. So watch out. Retractable roof open. Since we're here, what the trunk looks like. And you still get some space in there. You know, you can get a weekend bag even with the top down. And this is that partition I was telling you about. So if you have the roof up, you can move this partition up and use more expansive trunk area. But you put that in place in order to move the roof down, because that gives you the limiting space on how you know how much stuff you can put in there in order to use the convertible top. So on the subject of space, we can look at the interior. I won't go too into detail because it is pretty cramped in there with camera guy and I in there. This is really meant to be a driver's car and very driver focused, but even myself, I fit very nicely in this one. I am just over 6 feet tall, and I actually fit in here very well. You can see with it in my correct position. I have plenty of foot room, and if the hardtop was on, I have a good amount of headroom as well. But that's the great thing about convertibles. So you don't have to worry about headroom. Just leave the top down all the time. And this one is also nicely equipped with the memory seat and dual power seats. So if you have other people driving your car or just have different positions you want to use, you have the option to do that without fussing at whoever borrows your car and moving your seat, because we all understand those frustrations. But with this one being such a driver-focused vehicle, let's do just that and go for a drive. So here we are driving the SLK 350 6-speed. So the best part of this experience is driving this car. I know the SLK kind of known for being the lesser Mercedes, and you know, you couldn't afford an SL, so you got an SLK. But really, I think that most of the time I'd honestly choose one of these, mostly just for the manual, but also the chassis, because these are really true sports cars in the way they handle and drive, and the manual transmission just makes that the perfect package for a weekend roadster. As time has gone on and we've gotten away from hardtop convertibles, which were such a big deal in the early, late 2000s, and everyone is going back to soft tops, and convertibles themselves have kind of died away as everyone just wants crossover SUVs now. So you get the best of both worlds with this one. You get the coupe and the convertible experience. Nice and quiet in here, and everything still feels nice and tight. Compared to the previous generation of SLK, this was a huge improvement, especially in interior quality. Those used what we call Fisher-Price plastics in the first generation, which I still love those cars, but it was kind of an inherent lack of quality in that one. And everything was just really hard, scratchy plastic. But in the 171 generation SLK, which is this one, they rubberized everything. It's held up great over the years. It has a great texture look to it. Has a nice flat appearance, which I prefer over shiny plastics and so forth. So a very welcome change in this next generation, as well as in the chassis. With both of these cars, Mercedes really tried to push forward in the sports sedan and small sports car market and really make them handle very well. And with these later, the 272 engines, they updated the manual transmission to what we call a direct shift. So instead of having like a remote shift cable, it actually connects right into the back of the transmission and has such a great shifter feel. Rivals what I'd say more proper sports cars like Porsches and so forth. Definitely better than the BMW. Their shifters are always kind of rubbery feeling. Here, hopefully you can hear there as I blip every downshift. This engine is very rev happy. The 6-speed also has very nice short gearing, which makes it a whole lot of fun. With that 272 engine, this is the big one. So they did offer it in this car in 3-liter form, which was the SLK 280 with it's like 228 horsepower. But this is the full power 350, the 3.5 liter with right at 268 horsepower. And one of the best things about the 272 engine and most Mercedes engines in general is that they have a very flat torque curve. So this makes peak torque, I think it's from a little over 2,000 RPM all the way up to close to 5,000 RPM. The torque curve is completely flat. So you just get that very strong shove no matter where you are in the rev range. And then you can take it all the way up to its 6,400 RPM red line, which I always love, especially a manual with a big rev range that you can really wind them out. Even better on this one is it is equipped with the AMG Sport package, which just makes it that little bit better. Now hopefully you can hear the lack thereof is that, like I said a little bit earlier, everything is super tight in this one. SLKs are gonna, they are the entry level, so they are not quite as refined as an SL, but they are meant to be more of a sports car than a Grand Tourer like the SL is. So you might hear a little more creaking or a little bit of noise, but the suspension's stiffer and the chassis is designed more for sporty backroad driving. Doesn't bother me a bit, especially because most of the time I want to have the top down anyhow. And this one is nicely equipped with its mesh screen back here, which not many of them have retained over the years. So it is a very nice feature to have. As if you have the side windows up and that in place, the wind buffeting really isn't bad at all. This one is very nicely equipped also. Like I said, we've got the air scarf, which is you've got heating grids and fans in the headrest, so it'll blow warm air on the back of your neck. And of course you've got heated seats, and this one was also equipped with the automatic climate control, which is a very welcome feature compared to all the manual controls. I wasn't never a big fan of those in these. Let's see, we'll get into it some here. And these were rated at just under 6 seconds to hit 60. I think it was like 5.6 or something like that, and it feels every bit that strong. It feels so good. And you get that nice V6 exhaust note. They actually did a good job getting the engine note right on these. You got all your controls here, easy within reach. You got your roof control and your mirror controls down here. And everything, it's very driver focused in being, ergonomically friendly, because they expect that you are the one driving this car. Here, we'll do a little bit of top-down driving. So just a 2-direction switch. Just pull back. And as long as you have the trunk partition in place. Look at that, within moments, we are ready for some top-down driving, which will be very nice on this warm Georgia early spring day. And there, hopefully, you can hear that sweet exhaust note, which, like I said, they balanced it just right. I would personally want just a little more. Usually a resonator delete will take care of that itch that needs scratched. But really, out of the box, they really got this right. It's not too raspy. Noise builds nicely without being intrusive or obnoxious. And there, you can hear just how nice this engine rev match downshifts with nice little blip. It's super smooth. One neat thing about Mercedes convertibles and coupes of this time period is that they had this like center fill AC vent on the SLs of this generation, the SLKs and the CLKs. So you actually get airflow from up in here, the speaker grill area, which you can see you've got your extra dial there. So if you want to close that, you can, and just have more direct airflow. That is for those that want a little less direct airflow and just kind of fill the cabin with cooler air or warmer air if you so desire. All right, so I know we have talked about on the drive of how good this sounds, but let's go ahead and get a clip now that we're all warmed up. Just have always loved that V6 growl. So here we are back at the shop. We had a wonderful time in the 6-speed SLK. I hope y'all all enjoyed the video as much as I have. This one is up for sale, currently live on BringATrailer if you're watching this video early enough. And if you are, remember to bid early, bid often. If you are looking for a nice weekend cruiser or even a great daily driver, I've actually been driving this a past number of days because it really is just that good. Fuel efficient, lots of power, plenty of space, comfortable. Does everything you need it to do as long as you don't need to carry a lot of stuff. If you like this video or like the stuff we have here at DC MotorWerks, remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to make sure you don't miss any of our fun and exciting stuff here at DC. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.